Hello. Hello. Um, my trusty sidekick is not here today, so I have to make sure I'm doing this right. Let's see. Oh, so I have to make sure I'm doing this right. Okay. Let's see. Okay. All right. What's up? Hello. Welcome. If you're just hopping on, hello. If we have any tech issues, I'm here alone today, so I got nobody to help me. So, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to do our best. If you're just jumping on, should have done this earlier. If you're jumping on, you're watching this back on a replay. Just want to say, hey, want to tell you two quick things. One, I'm doing a webinar next week, February 20 something, 8th or 9th. I'm doing it, going over a Subdivide case study of a deal we did last year. It's a cool deal, how we found it, what we did with it, how we bought it, sold it, financed it, took it to market and sold it. And we made just a little over 7 figures on it. So it was a cool deal. And I'm going to do a case study, just kind of go over all the little pieces. Again, I don't have anybody with me here, but we'll, if you comment on whatever platform you're on, if you just comment Subdivide webinar, I'll have somebody on my team send it to you or come reply to your comments with it. So if you want to go to that, just comment Subdivide webinar and I'll have somebody on my team send that over. Okay, what's up? We got some people here, got like 30 people here. Is there anybody I know? If you're hopping on, say hey, let me know where you're joining from. Just so I don't like talking to the screen that much, but we're here doing it anyway. So if there's anybody here, say hey, what's going on? Would love to chat with you, just see what's good. Let's see. We got a few Subdivide webinars coming in. What's up? Chantel, Tim, Jonathan, Gregory, how are you? Let's see. Blake, what's up, dude? How you doing, man? Good to hear from you. Yeah, thanks everybody for joining. I like to do these little live streams and just kind of hop on. There's, whether you're newer in the land investing space or you are farther along in the game. I was talking to somebody about this the other day, and it really just depends on like your financial situation and what size of deals you're comfortable doing. But anybody can do a Subdivide deal. That's one thing I like to stress is like there's this mentality that you have to be a super experienced land investor or you have to have done a bunch of deals before you can start looking at doing bigger deals. And that's just not true. Now, for some people, if you don't have access to a lot of resources, capital, etc., you can still do those deals. You're just going to have to expect to participate at a smaller, let's just call it percent of the profit, right? But there really is across the board, no matter your resource set, no matter your experience set in land, you can do and you can target value add deals. Just for a quick backstory, anyone doesn't know, I've been investing in land. I am young. I'm 29, which I'm about to turn 30, so that feels kind of old. But I was talking to somebody the other day, and I've been investing in land since I was 21. So it's been 8 years, and God, it feels like an eternity. So I've been doing this a while. And back in 2019, 2020, I stumbled into doing larger land deals. And we did a deal that made like well over $1 million. And I took home like well over 600,000 from that deal. And I was like, wow, that's like what I've done over the last year in my business. And we just did it in one deal. And so since then, I've been really heavily targeting and looking for these types of deals. And frankly, it's the majority of what I focus my time on in my business these days. So I do like to say that if you are interested in doing Subdivide deals, you don't have to be, a super experienced Clint who's been doing it for 8 years. When I started and got my first deal, the opportunity just came into my pipeline. And because I knew the right people, frankly, because I have kind of a platform and I was able to engaged the right people, I was able to get that deal done. Had to give up equity, had to bring in funding partners, but I recognized the opportunity, right? And I think that's the super important part, is recognizing the opportunity. When you see an opportunity where, in my opinion, the largest margin value add that you can do in the world, I'm going to hold it out there for now. Dollar for dollar, time for time, is paper improvements to land and minor physical improvements. So the process of taking something big and turning it into smaller properties, right? We'll look here in just a second. You'll see, 200-acre ranches are just listed less than 10 or 20-acre ranches on a per acre basis. So that's just a trend, and we can take advantage of that by finding either good deals on market or targeting deals off market. And that's what we're talking about specifically today, is looking at minor subdivide deals. But there's a ton of ways to add value in land. I apologize. I was was working for like 2 hours right before this, and I hadn't spoken in 2 hours, so I'm getting my voice up. If you know how to recognize the opportunities, there's big opportunity for you. The other side of this is, things like rezoning, land assemblages, entitlements, so higher density plays where you're taking a property through, city council and planning to take a, maybe 100-acre tract down to 400 lots or whatever it would be, right? There's a lot of different ways to add value in land, and that's really what I focus my time on pretty much day in and day out these days, is looking at opportunities and finding where I can deploy my capital effectively in these bigger deals. At the height, I ran a business that was doing probably around 200, 250 deals a year. Small deals, very small deals in the $5,000 to $20,000 buy range, and then sell for, approximately double. Some deals go great, some deals don't. That was my business model for a long time. It's probably what a lot of people here maybe have heard about or are used to. And since 2020, really have changed my business to just doing really large flips. So flips where there's a couple $100,000 in margin, and doing these value add type land deals. So if you want to know who the hell you're talking to, that's who it is. I spend every waking moment of every day pretty much looking at land and saying, is there a way that I can, in a high margin capacity, add value to this, right? I want to give you an example. It's not a deal I did. It's a deal a colleague of mine did. They got a relatively large, about 90-acre piece of property in the DFW Metroplex. They got under contract, I think $25,000 an acre, ballpark. Okay. They went through the full entitlement process on that deal, a little bit of rezoning, a lot of civil engineering work, and they were able to sell that deal to a national home builder for, I don't remember the exact amount, but it was somewhere in the ballpark of $60,000 an acre. And so they made a $35,000 an acre net spread. Now they had a lot of cost in there with entitlement processes, and a lot of stuff goes into a deal like that. Attorneys, earnest money. Sometimes you end up having to own the land for a little while. So, not all that is margin, but if you can imagine making, let's call it, 60% of that, that's $25,000 an acre across 100 acres. You can do the math, right? That's a large spread. And the only thing that they did is they got the property under contract, got it zoned properly, got it entitled properly, and then were able to find the buyers. Another type of deal, and the type of deal I started doing this is, and the type I hunt pretty actively, are less dense subdivisions. So stuff that's a little farther outside of town, where we can do 1 acre, 2 acre, 5 acre, 10 acre lots. And if it's really far out, maybe a little bit bigger. So that's the majority of the stuff that I look at. That's what I'm going to do today. If you are on a platform, make sure you're following. If you'll hit the heart button, get a little heart, I appreciate that. It's not a vanity metric. It just helps the algorithm and such. And if you're on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I go live and do stuff like this on occasion. And like to think that I drop some knowledge bombs. Gene, what's going on? Nice to see you. Now, hello, sir. Tim, Dusty, Kate. Hope you guys are having a great day. And thanks for being here. Okay, so this is the part of the show where, Did I say the webinar thing? Oh no, I didn't say the other thing. This is a part of the show where I am just going to go live and look at deals. It's pretty simple as that. So it's just kind of a peek behind the curtain. I will say I work with 1 or 2 people every month to add value add deals to their business. So if you are looking to add those kind of deals to your business, I have a small group. It's about 10 people. It's expensive. So if that's not in your ballpark, then don't worry. It's not for you. But the goal is to find a deal, help you find a deal, fund the deal, go through the process of adding value to the deal and taking it to market. I'll be transparent. I've helped people make a lot of money, but I've also got a lot of deals out of this group. And it's pretty much the only coaching program that I run one-on-one these days, is my Subdivide group. So if you're interested in adding these deals, just comment Subdivide or something to the effect, and somebody on my team will hit you up. All right. Okay, let's go crazy here. Let's go crazy. Present, share screen, window. Boom, boom, boom. The eternal matrix. Okay, this is going to seem like a crazy process, guys. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? I'm going to open up Zillow, okay? I've got Zillow open. Now, the last time I did one of these lives, I'm thinking about making this a reoccurring series. The last time I did one of these lives, I chose an area that I haven't done a deal in, and I just kind of started looking there. I was about to choose a new area for this one, but I was like, why do that? We've already gained the momentum. We learned a little bit. This is something you learn in the value add process. I learned a little bit about this area a week or 2 ago when we did this. So why don't we just keep looking here? Maybe this series actually turns into pulling a deal out live and doing it. And you can follow the journey if you want. So I think I'm going to go back to around Tyler, Texas. That's where we were the other day. All right. So let's take a look here. One of the things that we did last week, and I'll bring everybody up to speed on, and what you need to do when you're looking for a deal is you got to understand the end product. Okay. What's the end product? What the hell am I selling? If you're selling a large entitled subdivide deal to a major builder, the major builder is your buyer, right? If I'm selling a 10-acre home site to somebody in a rural city in Texas, then the buyer of the 10-acre home site in rural Texas is my buyer. So I want to understand, what are they up to, right? There's a lot of great tools out there. I'm not going to go into all of them on this live, but Texas is a non-disclosure state. And so typically when I'm searching in Texas, I don't use any of the fancy tools. I just use like Zillow and land.com, because it's going to give me some of the best data I can get without being a realtor, just to see like sales activity, to see what's going on. I might not be able to get exact sale prices, but I can get ballpark. But I can also see, what are people buying, right? Like, what does the track look like? What are they going after? And just frankly, what's trading? Like, this is a market like anything else. And so we want to see what's trading out here. So I'm going to look for 1 to 20 acre tracks here. And maybe for today, let's do 5 to 20 acre tracks. Just to zone in a little, because when you're looking for value add deals, and if you have any questions as I'm going through this, please drop them. I like to engage and answer questions and help you out. And I also don't like talking to the screen alone. So if you got questions or you're working on anything and you want my feedback, feel free to let me know. Okay, there's my ploy to please talk to me, so I don't have to talk to the screen alone all day. Let's see what we got here. So I want to see, what are people buying, what's for sale, what's moving. So I'm taking a look at 20-acre home sites, 5 to 20 acres. And I'm looking in this little Tyler, Texas area. And I'm going to say sold in the last 6 months. Okay. Man, not a lot. Not as many as I'd like to see. 5 to 20 acres around Tyler. Well, I can guarantee you this is not correct. Could be. It could be. You always want to say it's not correct, but it could be. Let's open it up a little bit. All right, so this just sold on April something, April of last year. Looks like 20, let's see, how big was this property? 10 acres, sold for $425. Got a small house and a barn. It's probably about 100,000 in improvement, so maybe 25, 30,000 an acre. It's interesting. Let's see what's sold here. And one thing it's easy to overlook are mobile homes or like small homes on larger properties, because oftentimes the structure value is worth a lot less than the property. So it can give you an idea of what people are, what that property is worth. 5 acres sold for $170. Call it, I don't know about this house, but it's not big. Call it 90, 100,000, so probably 20,000 an acre, something like that. Okay, so we got a couple here. Okay, this is what we want to see here. 5 acre lot, pending at 100. Okay, 20 an acre. I'm locked in. I like to see 20 an acre. I think 20 an acre is going to be a number for us here. 10 acres, sold for $585, but it's got a nice little house on it. So we could assume the land basis was, it's going to be more than your normal like 20% on an infill lot. So the land base here, maybe 20,000 an acre, 25,000 an acre, and then 200,000 to 300,000 in improvements. So 25,000 an acre. That's got a lot of improvements. A lot of improvements. Okay. So that's what we see. What do we see here? Big house. Man, I wonder if this data is right. $20 acres. I wonder if this sold for a lot. Let's see. About $490. 20 acres. 490,000. So we're looking at 30 an acre. So this is a little bit of a bigger property closer to Tyler. 5 acre lot. Well, I don't know what happened here. That is some price discovery. 5 acre lot. 100K. That's 40 an acre. Yeah. 40 an acre. That makes sense. 15 acre lot with a pond outside of town. We got nothing here. That's too bad. It's kind of tough working in a non-disclosure state, but also gives you a bit of an advantage. All right, so that's looking like 14,000, 15,000 an acre. Okay, so if we could find something for 10,000 an acre, that would be a starting point. That would be a starting point here. So let's look for 100 acres plus for sale. Okay. We like road frontage. Let's see what we got here. Let's take a look. God, I hope my screen is sharing. It is. Okay. That would have been unfortunate. Okay. this property here. Okay, so I think it's this property. If I had to guess, that is not the correct. Yeah, I bet you the data out here is not very good. That is my guess. Because I know personally of a lot more properties that have sold out here. So I'm not going to be super reliant on Zillow data. We got a pond. We got an oil pad. Yeah, this is it. Pond, oil pad. Okay. So let's just save this. Okay, we don't have a lot of road frontage. So just for example's sake, I'm just going to look at this property. We got frontage here. So let's look at our bad things first. Got a bunch of floodplain. I can already tell you that's probably going to kill the deal right there. Because what you'd have to do is you'd have to run, you'd have to create some sort of access here. Maybe just following this existing road, probably. But I'm an optimist. Let's see what we can find here. You have to create some sort of road here. Sometimes you look at this and out the gate, you say, nope, can't do it. But we don't want to count it out just yet. So maybe we run something like this back to here. Oh gosh, I don't think we can do anything with this property. Let's see. Let's just pretend. For fun here. About 70 acres here. You could probably create one track here. This is a power line. Probably create another track. That road might not work. For our math's sake, we'll just say we can get 2 tracks here. You can get another track. Let's see, how big would this be? So it's something like this, you would definitely have to do smaller tracks because it's closer to the town and the prices are a little higher. So you could probably do, let's see, 2, 3, 4. You might have to work this road a little bit differently. But you could probably get, you get a track here. Pond. Get a track here. This is going to be an undesirable track, but it will be one nonetheless. Doing a track here. And obviously this road would move to be along these boundaries. So probably get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tracks there. And what else can we get? It's another 23 acres. So we probably do another 4 or 5 acre tracks there. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Because you have this front track, which would not be great. But it's property nonetheless. You actually might be able to do something like this. speculating here, but you might be able to crank another couple of small tracks out. So we probably would have, let's go over here. We would probably have, what did I say? We had 6 up top, 10, 11, 12. Let's say we'd have 11, like, we'll call them 5-acre tracks to 1-acre tracks. And this is just super rough. Like I could look at this later and be like, oh, maybe I would do this as like 2-acre tracks, and I'd make these all come down smaller. This is gonna be a little more of a dense. You're gonna have to take this through a platting process, and depending on the road requirements, it could easily kill this deal, but it could be something. Especially if they'd consider selling part of it at the same price per acre, or maybe the whole thing they'd come down on. Let's call it 800,000. So I'm going to just say 75 grand for this bucket. This is like civil engineering, any sort of like water studies, road studies, anything that we would need. All this, like an Alta survey, and then actually subdividing the property. I'm going to ballpark that at 75. It's probably maybe a little high for a deal like this, but could be correct. This road is 3,500 feet. I'm going to hope to gosh that we could do this for $30 a foot as a dirt road, or like a gravel caliche road. So I would put in, something like, whatever that was, 3,500 feet, about 100 grand there. I'm going to assume 15 lots. We need 15 entrances. So call this very rough underwriting, another 100K. And electric, let's call it another 100,000. This could all be way too high. It probably is for a very minor deal like this. If you could do a dirt road with minimal like hiccups, if you will, you could probably do this a little cheaper than I'm forecasting here, but let's go above budget. This is going to be our banking terms. I'm just going to say it's something to this effect, maybe a little more like that. 18 months for the project. And I'm going to say we could sell these. Let's just start here. Not a good deal there. Okay. We're only making 8% on our money. And if we were to take a loan on the property, we'd make 27%, but that wouldn't be very good. So let's look at this deal one more time. See what we missed. See what we know. Projected a little higher sales price because those would be really nice properties in a nice area. Or I don't know about the area, but they'd be nice properties because they'd be improved. So kind of closer to the top of the market, but it didn't really work there. 111 acres for 567. What do we got going on here? Yeah, this is like 5-6 grand an acre. Let's see what the problem is. There's always a problem. So off the cuff, that deal probably wouldn't work. I want to just work silently here. Off the cuff, that deal probably would not work just from looking at it. If you could get this price down a lot, if you could prove that they would sell for more, maybe, but like you'd have to be way lower because there's a lot of improvement cost. Let's say you get away with like half of the improvements, I say. Still like, well, with half of the improvements, you could about double your money with a loan on the deal. So 360 in, 770 out. So that's what I would confirm. That would be like my next step on this deal would be like, how much would it cost me to do this? Oh, and the other thing, could I even buy it for this, right? Would they maybe sell the whole thing or sell that part of it and then just understand they're taking a loss on the floodplain? Maybe we could balance the numbers out and ended up paying something close to that. But at this point in an underwriting or looking at a deal like this, I would have like kind of a yes or no. Do I want to like send an offer on this? If I did, I might send it to my agent and have them try and negotiate it. But probably won't because this deal might not be good. But look, if you could do this for 100 grand, and these are in a nicer part of, I mean, they're not far outside of Tyler. So if they would sell at that price point, there could be something there, but it's not a layup. Let's figure out what's up with this deal here. Why is it 5,000 an acre? Don't know if you don't ask. Oh, okay. So it's an estate. So when you see this, estate of these people, that means there's some dead people and they might be trying to fire sale this thing. I may have just dropped a great lead onto the internet. Let's see. Let's see. That's way too, is that right? Huh, okay. Looks bigger, but I guess this is the property. Wow. I think I just found an interesting lead, folks. I think I just found an interesting lead. I'm going to take a quick pause because I know that there's people in the chat. Look, I give everything in the world. Like I give so much stuff out for free. I have a 14-hour course on YouTube. I do these live streams all the time. The one thing that I really sell is like this. It's helping people do these deals. And it's just the one thing I've made for my clients that it just doesn't feel right to give it out for free. So I apologize. Take a screenshot, copy it, do it, come work with us, whatever you want. Yeah, that's just the one thing I don't give out for free. So sorry about that. Somebody says, got a couple deals, might work for you. Buy for 17, sell for 35. Who's saying that? Oh, Alex, yeah, you were in the Discord earlier. Tell me about that. Yeah, Alex, make sure you email those to me. I don't know where you're at with those, boss, but you can email them to me or just message me in Discord maybe. And let's take a look at those. Yes. Somebody said, do you purchase these properties outright or just under contract to buy? For a deal like this, would probably purchase it. Especially if you're doing improvements to the property, would purchase it. If there's a play, haven't seen any today, but like, for example, if we looked at this deal and it was just cut it off the road, maybe you could sell all the tracks before, but the majority of my business, I purchase the properties that I go under contract for. Our returns are so high. When I'm looking, like I was looking at a deal earlier and I was like, oh, if we did that, like we could only make like 27%, right? Well, a lot of people like 27%. All right. For me, I want to make 100%, right? I want to double my money. That's kind of my general navigating tool. Most of the properties we purchase for that reason, because we're doing some sort of minor value add to them. But there is a big market for putting stuff under contract, doing this stuff too. It still costs money, but doing this stuff and selling it to builders. So there's that too. What's up? Cool. All right. Hold on. I'm interested in this deal. I can't stop thinking about it. Let's go look at it. Okay, so we're asking 560. I can already guarantee you they've gotten a million calls. I'm not sure why it hasn't sold. Might have to figure that out. Okay, we got an oil gas road here. We got a bunch of floodplain. We have. I'm just gonna cut it here. We got about 90 acres. I've got 90 usable. You can get something for the floodplain lot, but you're not going to get a lot. I call these like you might be able to sell, like I call them sell through. Like hopefully you can just sell it for what you bought it for. Maybe you might lose a little on it, but if you're making enough on the rest of the stuff, then it doesn't really matter. Okay. And that deters people too sometimes. Let's look at the pipeline situation here. What do we got? No, we got a lot. Actually, not terrible. You could do something with this. Pipelines don't necessarily kill a deal for me by any means. This is a pretty big bisection here. So that's a little bit of a challenge. But I even look at this and I'm saying, well, if I were to do a tract, like larger tracts, one would be easier. So if I were to do like a track here. Just kind of use these pipeline boundaries as your lot boundaries. I get another lot here. What do we got? I do want to emphasize for everybody here, a lot of our stuff is done off market. So we find deals like this. On market is definitely not the only strategy, but it does crank deals out, and you can find motivation on market too. Like I'm trying to buy 2 properties on market right now that are in a tax foreclosure situation. If anybody knew where to look at them, they could also send in offers at 50% market value, maybe buy them. So there's definitely opportunity on market. But I do just like to clarify, if you're looking for deals like this or you're working with us, we do a good bit off market and then kind of fill our spare time with on market is what I like to say. So back of the napkin underwriting here. And let's see. So what I'm doing right now, I'm just trying to figure out our lot mix to figure out what we could actually sell. Because how I like to think about looking at deals like this is, what's the easiest thing I can do? And can I make money doing that? And if I have to get more complicated by doing, say, smaller tracks, something to the effect, then I'll explore it. But if it works if it works in the simple version, then it definitely works if you make the end properties smaller. So I always start with something like this. Now what I do with this one is I would probably include this whole back area. Just off the cuff, folks. Just off the cuff. Don't hold me to it. But out the gate, I'd probably do that. So you have a usable tract in the back. You can charge, normal price per acre for the non-floodplain, and then everything else floodplain, maybe it will sell for a few thousand an acre. So I'd probably do it like that. Otherwise, you're just trying to sell a little sliver here and a bunch of floodplain. It's like no one's ever going to buy it. So 2-acre property. Okay, so we've got 13, 7, 12, 10, 10. All right, I'm just going to call these like 10 acres. So we got 5, and they're like 12 and a half-ish each, something like that. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like that. And that's 12, 20, 33, 43. It's about 55 acres. So those are about 11. Just making sure I have the right count of acreage. We've got this 2-acre lot at the front. Probably will sell for more. And the floodplain lot is, we can sell this part of it. Three acres. We'll sell 3 acres at a premium, and then we'll have, call it 4 acres at a premium, and then we'll have 40 acres of floodplain. So it's 44 acres. So let's just say, for this, I'm just going to separate it out. So I do this right here because I've underwritten deals many times, and the acreage they tell me and the acreage I come out with are different. And that's why I have this here. So that'd be something I need to find out. Real quick. Let's just do this. Okay, that's 58 acres there. That's 58. And we've got 44. We've got 58. Oh, gosh. And we're a little off. I don't know why. It could be these roads, but I don't think that is. Oh, we did leave a little out here. I think we lost some in between here. So we'll just call it loss. We'll just call this loss. Okay. For this deal, since I've been going for a while, I would probably just, again, I'm looking at the easiest path of least resistance here. I can just come in here, and already as I'm looking at this, I'm like, oh, I would do a couple things differently here. But like this lot over here, I would probably cut that into 2 or 3 since it has frontage. Since we already would have to see, one of the big questions you have to ask yourself is, do I have to replat for this deal? For this deal, you would have to replat for. So you have a little more creativity versus if I was just cutting this property, if I was just cutting it up and down here, which to be honest, at this price point could work. Just to show you what I mean. FEMA floodplain, what am I doing? I'll turn pipelines off. Just to show you what I mean by that is you can see these lots over here. Oh, my mouse is having an issue. There we go. You can see these lots on this side over here. If you were, Jikra Investments probably sold all these front lots because they didn't have to do anything. They just had to plat them out. Or they had to do just probably a minor lot adjustment, minor land split, something in the effect. It's like very little work. So if we were cutting this property, and we wanted to cut it the easiest way, you would just cut tracks here off the roadway. So like this, for example, right? They're longer, they're skinnier, they're a little less desirable. It's not my preference. But if a deal has a lot of road frontage, like if this whole side was a road, then I would want to use that. For this deal, we'd probably have to improve and turn this into some sort of dirt road, hopefully dirt road. So that's why I underwrote it the way I did. Okay, let's see what all the maths out to here. So they're asking 560 basically, which is 5,000 acre, which don't know why it's so cheap. Let's use the same estimate of 75,000 for engineering, civil engineering, all the surveying for this property. It said it has no survey, and good luck. Specifically, it says no survey on file, buyer to satisfy self on acreage. So they got nothing. It's going to be an expensive survey. The Subdivide, the civil engineering could easily be more than 75 actually. But let's just use 75 for giggles. We got a yellow road, 2,500 feet. So let's do this. Let's do 2,500 times 30. Oh, let's do it like this. Okay. 75 grand. Driveways, we're going to do under culverts, we'll do 7,000 per lot. So this times, God, this might be the most boring thing I've ever done. If you're here, will you tell me if you like this? I'm thinking about the entertainment aspect of this, and I'm literally just like in a spreadsheet. So maybe this isn't as exciting as I think it is, but this is the kind of stuff that gets me excited. Okay. Definitely would be a well. I'm guessing this would have to be a well development. There could be a water line here, but it's going to be real expensive and a big pain in the ass to drag it through the property. So I would probably just do this as a water well development, if possible. I say that. You don't know if you can do that. Sometimes there's minimum lot sizes, things to the effect. Okay, that's a 600-foot well. That's deep. 260. I'm somewhat familiar with the topography of Texas, and 600 seems deep. Yeah, that's 30. Oh, what else we got here? I'm going to make an educated guess that the wells are 200 feet deep. I would probably drill at least one well to test it. And I'm going to estimate that at let's just call it $40 a foot. That's right. That seems cheap. No, that's too cheap. Let's go 80. Well, a 200-foot well, it's going to be about $20 a foot to dig it and $20 a foot to case it, unless I'm remembering incorrectly. Let's just go higher, just in case. But it might only be that much to dig the well. It might be more than that. These guys don't like to go out for nothing. When I've dug some wells in the last 6 months, and it was like $17 a foot to drill it and like $20 a foot to case it. But we were also drilling like 1,000 feet of well, so it could have been a bulk pricing. So let's just say it's $15K for the well. That seems about right. What else we need? Electric install. So let's go $40 a foot times this road distance, probably something like that. And 50,000 in other site work type stuff. Just a ballpark. Capital. Okay, so what the heck are we selling these guys at? Let's see. I can already tell you this is going to be a deal, and we're going to have to look at it. We're going to have to take a peek. I want to go here and do 5 to 20 acres. 10 acres, 115, so that's 10,000 an acre. 20 acres, 260, a little over 10,000 an acre. Mobile home on 8 acres. That thing looks basically worth nothing. So probably about 10,000 an acre seems about right there. Let's see what else we got here. Yeah, I think 10, 12, 15. Honestly, I think they'd sell for more, but let's just go for, man, I actually think they'd sell for a little more. This is really nice land. I think it would sell for a little bit more. Let's look at some solds here. 10 acres, similar looking, sold for, not gonna tell me that. It's a comp that I will pull later. This one looks like it has no access. That's not a good comp. Okay. Just got to roll with it sometimes. And like 11 an acre. So I'm currently just trying to guess the price, what I'd sell these lots for. And remember, let me say one thing real quick. I know we're in the steam of it here. I know we're in the thick of it. If you're enjoying this, will you click like on this video? If you're on YouTube, hit subscribe. I tell you this, I do a lot of this stuff. Like when you get good at this, you kind of go fast, a lot of it in the head. We could underwrite this thing to death, but what I teach my clients and how I have found it's best to do this is like very light underwriting here. Not going to get too stuck in the weeds on it. See if there's an opportunity and then move right to working the deal. So like working towards talking to the agent. Like there's an art to, like, obviously a bunch of people have probably called on this. Would be talking to the owner. I would be talking to the broker initially. I'd be trying to figure out where they were at, if they had contracts. I would ask how the owner was feeling, how their sentiment was, so I could figure out how to work in the deal. And if we wanted to, if potentially buy this, if all checked out and our numbers look good, then I'd price into contract the same day. This was a big lift. It's a pretty big lift. It might be low. And I thought we could get more. 2-acre front lot, you price that for 60 grand, and then the floodplain back, I don't know, you might be able to sell for 3,000 an acre. Oh no, we're losing money. Dang. Well, I guess there's a reason. It's still on the market. Yeah. You just got so much construction cost on this one. It's just the unfortunate reality too of doing this is, oh shit, I need to share my screen. This is the unfortunate reality of doing this is you look at it, you get excited, and then you see negative returns. We don't want negative returns. So we probably, my only hope would be that I could sell these for more. That's what we all want, isn't it? Let's take a quick look on land.com. because the data kind of sucked up there. I'm going to check the comments just real quick. Actually, let me finish this. I get sidetracked very easily. Let me check one more section of comps here, and then I'll wrap this up. Okay. For 40 acres, just whatever. Yeah. Let's see. See, you just sometimes want to convince yourself it'll sell for more, but it just doesn't look like it will. Maybe it will. What I would really do here, what I probably am going to do, is I'm going to pull a, I'd probably pull comps from the MLS. I'll have my broker do that so I could get a good feeling to make sure I'm, now see, these are 6 acres, 66. It's still 11,000 an acre. What do you know? 10,000 an acre. Yeah, just is what it is, it looks like. So you'd have to confirm these costs. Let's see if there's any way we can save money. See, I even think, so if they would let you do a road and just improve this road here, that might just be a little dirt road, but I even think my estimate's a little low already at $30 a foot. Site work, let's say all our site work's included in here. Driveways, 7,000. How to drill a well. Electric. Man, you're losing so much on this floodplain. I wonder if you could sell that lot for about 5,000 an acre. So it'd be a 45 acre lot times 5,000. You might be able to bring, well, let's see, what is it? That's 44 and 120. So we're currently estimating 4,000 an acre. That's about right. Yep, that's about right. So unfortunately, the only lever to move is price. And that is that. Now, if we could get this for, I don't know, let's say 300,000. Still not that great. 2,700 an acre, 275. I'm dejected. I thought this might be a good one. But that is all part of the game. And there's probably a reason why it's still on market. That's probably right around the area that people would want it to trade around. Now, look, one quick thing here. If you could get a loan on this, okay? Let's say you could get a seller finance loan and you could finance the majority of this construction cost. Say you're in for 30% of the equity. You could make a 50% return here. That's what this is. My target's 2, as I'm saying. So you could put 220 in, get 340 out. For the average person, it's not too bad. It'd probably be a lot of work to do this. Just as far as mental energy and time energy put into it. I really want to say these could sell for a little bit more, but the data says what the data says. So 11, 33. That's why we have our spreadsheets, folks. Okay, let me wrap this up. See what we're doing here. Who's asking about iOS? I am doing a little bit in the iOS space. Somebody asked about this. Yeah, we found a property off market in the that was on tax foreclosure, and it's a nightmare to be honest with you. But if we can get the property, oh, it's Blake. Blake, I can't see your name on this stupid software, but we're looking at it in short, Blake. We got a little site that I like. It's 6 acres just south of downtown Dallas in an industrial district. So it's a cool spot. If we could get it, we'll see. It's just a nasty airship. People don't want to sell. People are mad at each other. But if I do, I would. I think that from what I've learned for outdoor storage, like it's either a good covered land play if there's a different, like if there's stuff moving towards it, or it really needs to be that supply constrained. I chatted with a guy who owns a ton here in DFW. Alex, I can't remember his last name, but their firm owns like a core, like 250 mil of iOS around here. And that's what he said his core business philosophy is around it, is like, it's got to be mission critical. So like a roofer who does jobs in South Dallas, like they need that site, right? Versus something that's like edge of town, they just do less of those as far as what I've learned. So I'm not like actively targeting it, but I'm thinking about it. And if it comes into my pipeline, I'm looking at it. Okay, doesn't have to be entertaining. I like it. What software was I using? I was just using Excel. Microsoft Excel. What Pete say? My main interest is adjacent to this. Buy 1 to 200, sell half, keep half. Yeah, I think a lot of that. I don't know what is going on over there. Could be part of this estate. And this is an interesting one too. This is something that I target very, very heavily, are properties that are that have airship issues. So when there's multiple estates involved, there's multiple names on a deed. Little hack: if you skip trace a list, you can get the ages back. And if you see somebody that's if you want the skip tracing software, just say skip tracing in the comments. And Derek or somebody on my team can send you just a private message or a reply with the link. But the tool we use for skip tracing, it can tell you if they're deceased, or also if they're like 80, 90 plus years old, 50-50 if they're alive or dead. So those are very interesting opportunities. Just because there's a lot of people who are like, their parents died, somebody died, and maybe a brother died and somebody died, and there's a bunch of fractured interest for a property nobody knows about. So those can be signs of motivation. So I look for those a lot. And that's why I was interested in this one, even more so just from the price it was at, but just kind of a thought process. I don't know why I was going through that. This is also interesting, Pete. You were talking about the property I was. You could buy that front and just resell it at $5,000 an acre and keep the back if you're looking for a property. An even cooler strategy, something I've done a few times around DFW, is I've bought things in the like $8,000 to $12,000 range an acre and sold them in the $20,000 to $30,000 an acre range. And in a couple of those deals, I still own some parts of them. I'll probably end up selling them. They're not going to be my forever spot, but there is a lot of opportunity if you understand the mechanics of doing a land development, or just how to, do a minor land development to get a discount on your own land. Yeah, that's the goal. That's the goal, man. Cool. Yeah, if you just leave a comment here, somebody on my team can reply to the comment with the link that they need to send you if you're on YouTube. And if you're on Facebook, they'll probably DM you, or however they want to do that. When they are deceased, you reach out to relatives. Yeah, so every situation, they're little puzzles, man. You got to figure out what's going on. Sometimes there's like one person playing, they're corralling everybody up. Sometimes nobody cares about it. And a lot of those end up in tax foreclosure just because nobody cares about it. And so you have to go through and drag everybody out. And then when they find out about it, they become armchair attorneys and they start to care about it a lot more. So there's nuance to it. It's not all sunshine, but we've done a lot of good deals with undivided interest, fractured ownership, all those kinds of things. And one thing we actually do, and we're expanding on our internal team, is we're getting access to the dockets for like all these counties we're interested in, and we're indexing their dockets and looking for tax lawsuits. So when your property's behind on taxes, you get issued a tax foreclosure lawsuit, just like if I was suing you for doing something, being a knucklehead. And that's kind of a scary process. Everybody who's a fractured owner gets a lawsuit served to them. Those are really good times to talk to people. Pain in the ass to set up, but we've seen some deals come from it. So, okay, cool. Thanks everybody for jumping on. Again, sorry if I missed your question. If I did, just leave it again. I'll come back and comment on it. Next week, I'm doing this webinar, just kind of like this. Going to open up the spreadsheets and the pro formas and the deals, and show you a deal that we bought. Took it through a minor land split. So we did not do any improvements, entitlements. It was just a survey is all we did. No, we did more than just survey, but that was the mechanic of it. I'm going to be going over how we did that deal, how we funded that deal. I'll show you the deal. And the deal is actually it'll be cool to watch. Let's just put it that way. So get the link for that. Just comment wherever you're watching this. Just comment on here. Somebody on my team will send it. If you follow me on some platform, wherever you are, I'll post about it so you'll see it. If you enjoyed this, if you enjoyed me hopping on for an hour and just being a little rat looking at deals, just let me know in the comments. Hit the like button. We really appreciate it. Lets me know if we should do more of these. And honestly, just talking to the computer screen here, this is what I really like to do. Like, I really like to look at deals like this. And so it makes me, I will do more content if you guys like this. So let me know in the comments. Appreciate everybody for jumping on. Thanks so much. And again, if you are somebody who's looking to do value add land deals, I work with like 1 or 2 people a month in a small private group. It's pretty much the only way I work with people. Everything else I do is free. So check it out. We got free courses, free Facebook groups, free YouTube, all the free things. But if you're looking to do deals like this, you got the capital, got the willingness to go after it. You can comment coaching or comment Subdivide. Our team will reach out to you. Thanks, everybody. Appreciate you. Have a great rest of your week. Have a great weekend. We'll talk to you soon. See you next week. Peace.